SRT, probably the most recognizable performance division from any American brand. They give us the Charger that could outrun supercars, the Challenger that practically lives on a drag strip, the Durango that could haul your kids and gap a Mustang at the same time, and the Caliber SRT4, which exists. In this video, I'm ranking every Dodge SRT ever made, from the legendary muscle cars to V10 high-powered trucks to even the underrated and the forgettable. We've got a lot to cover, so let's jump right in. Before I start this video, make sure to subscribe to Durango. I make weekly videos about the automotive world, and if you enjoy these kind of videos, make sure to support and show love to the growing channel. Your support means so much to me, and this channel wouldn't be possible without you guys. Anyways, let's get back into the video. Number 1. The Charger SRT8, 392, Hellcat, Redeye, and Jailbreak. The most iconic Dodge models. They rule the drifts, but now the newer model should be pushed off a cliff. I don't know why I rhymed that. These models were American muscle legends, and they were every American's dream car at some point. They look amazing, are packed with horsepower that rivals some supercars, and are really good sleepers, but not really at the same time because every Charger is obviously fast, and everyone knows that, which goes to show how powerful these muscle cars are. The Charger SRT8 makes 470 horsepower, and the 392 bumps it up to 485. The Hellcat supercharged V8 cranks out 707, and the Redeye hits 797, and the Jailbreak adds even more tuning options. In conclusion, there's an SRT for everyone, and those everyone are those who have serious money to burn. Of course, these things are expensive. They are marked up in dealerships like crazy, but the rich Dodge glazers still buy them and upgrade them every generation. Dodge is basically the iPhone of the car market. I personally knew this one idiot who started with a 2015 Dodge Charger RT and then upgraded to an SRT 392 9 months later, and 1 year later to the Charger Hellcat. 4 months later, he upgraded to the Redeye before it got impounded because he couldn't make the payments. Wow. Dodge knows that this is their community, and the love for the Charger is insane. Some parts of the Charger are overrated, but overall, it's a great car. Me personally, I wouldn't go further than like a used old SXT for fuel and reliability reasons, but if you have the money to burn, go for the SRTs. Now, what's my final ranking of the Charger? I'm going to have to go A tier. I know that seems high, but it's just an amazing and iconic car all around. Number 2. The Dodge Durango SRT 392 and Hellcat. Now on to the family SUV, with 3 rows and tons of space, but it's really a performance monster. Let's be real, I don't think any family of 4 across the US needs this, so Dodge focuses on a different demographic. Those who want power in something large with the added capabilities of an SUV. If you ask me, it's kind of confusing combining 2 of the most gas-guzzling things in the world, but somehow that formula just works here. They're really cool, look amazing, and somehow sound really good too. Now when it comes to performance SUVs like the Durango, no one really seems to be buying them anymore over cheaper sports cars, but that's because there's no reason to get a performance SUV these days, so the value has been decreasing over the years. Overall, it's not my style, but the appearance is definitely there. B tier. Number 3. The Dodge Neon SRT4. The SRT4 is unique for all the right reasons. It stands out, it's surprisingly practical, and handles well. The Neon SRT was built for power, with most models offering strong acceleration and high horsepower. They aren't the best at refinement, but they make up for it with straight-line speed and performance that was hard to ignore for the price. I say was because now the value of these things skyrocketed. Even though they're pretty old, with many selling with high mileage, damage, and questionable issues, they aren't fair for what you're getting. Sure, they're cool, quirky, and a head-turner, but it's not something you want to pay 15 grand for. Also, the reliability is terrible, and every other Dodge SRT4 is out there being pretty much neglected, and that doesn't help at all. Regardless, the Dodge Neon SRT4 is an awesome model, and back then, it stood out from every other Dodge car. It doesn't necessarily carry the same weight now because it's overshadowed by the Charger, Challenger, and other models, but come on, it's just so cool. I'm gonna have to give it a B tier. If only Dodge could revive the SRT4. Number 4. The Dodge Caliber SRT4. The Dodge Caliber is a questionable model, and there's an SRT variant, which is the weakest SRT. It's the worst selling Dodge model of all time, right next to the Dart, and for good reason. You'd never know this thing is an SRT from looking at it, and I feel like it's a missed opportunity making an average-sized hatchback a sleeper. The Dodge Caliber SRT4 was a front-wheel drive hatch trying to play in the performance space, but it just didn't work. Despite having a strong 284 horsepower turbo engine, it suffered from torque steer, and the handling couldn't keep up with the power. The styling is there, but the worst thing about the Caliber is its horrible reliability and terrible transmission, paired with cheap materials. I feel like Dodge needs to stop with these economy cars. That's why the Dodge Caliber was discontinued, and the Dodge Dart, the Dodge Avenger, and the Dodge Stratus. Also, with how terrible the Dodge Hornet's doing, that might be discontinued in a few years too. I hate to say it, but even though the Neon SRT4 was cool, it also didn't sell well. Dodge is meant for power, and releasing something like this just didn't make sense. Overall, the Caliber has some cool factor, but it's ugly at the same time and also just sucks all around. D tier. Number 5. The Dodge Magnum SRT8. Finally, we're back to something interesting. The Dodge Magnum is a powerhouse, combining a station wagon and a Charger into one car. It's like the American version of the Audi RS6 Avant. The interior quality and reliability are terrible. There was no manual offered, but it was still amazing. The Dodge Magnum SRT8 packed a 6.1-liter Hemi V8, making 425 horsepower, launching it from 0 to 60 in around 5 seconds. Quick for a wagon. It's built on a solid rear-wheel drive platform, offering strong straight-line speed and decent handling for its size. Now, besides all that, these things are impossible to find used these days, and with them aging, they aren't really suitable for the road anymore. If Dodge could just make a Dodge Charger wagon, it would sell like crazy, but the Charger doesn't exist anymore, and Stellantis just hates sales. Overall, the Dodge Magnum hits that cool factor, but with its issues and how terribly it's aged, it's going to have to be a B tier. Number 6. The Dodge Challenger SRT8, 392, Hellcat, Redeye, Superstock, Demon, Demon 170, and Jailbreak. These are even more expensive than the Charger. Look at this insanely marked up one some user found on Reddit. It's so expensive you can't even touch it, but regardless, the Challenger is just as iconic as the Charger. Americans love it. It's everywhere. It's even my YouTube banner for some reason, which I should change really soon because it's just a placeholder, but you get the idea. The Challenger SRT has so many models, and each one varies in performance, which I am going to list all of them here because there's just so much to talk about. The Dodge Challenger was a perfect muscle car, but is it as good as the Charger? The short answer, not really. While it's powerful, it's not good at much else but straight line speed, compared to cars like the Mustang or Camaro. Also, I feel like they carry less value, and their outdated platform severely sets it back. Overall, it's cool, but not really worth it to own. B tier. Number 7. The Chrysler 300 SRT. The Chrysler 300 SRT is awesome. It packed a 6.4-liter Hemi V8, making over 470 horsepower, giving it serious straight-line speed for a full-size sedan. Despite its weight, it delivered solid acceleration in a muscle car feel with luxury comfort. Overall, it seems perfect. However, the Chrysler 300 SRT suffered from a heavy curb weight, which hurt handling and agility. It also had an outdated feel, mediocre interior materials despite being a luxury sedan, and for the price and poor fuel economy, it felt more like a fast cruiser rather than a well-rounded performance and luxury car combined. It's also overpriced, but then again, it's an SRT, no surprise there. Overall, it looks really nice, great styling, but it's held back a lot, preventing it from going higher. B tier. Number 8. The Chrysler Crossfire SRT6. I have no idea why this car exists. It looks quirky and unique, but the back, horrible. Now, some mods can make it look great, but there's still no reason to buy one in 2025. For the price used car dealers are marking it up like crazy for, you could easily get something like a Honda Civic Si, Infiniti G35 Coupe, or even an older Mustang for way better performance and reliability. The 2000 Stella Mantis was terrible, and it shows in this model. The Crossfire SRT6 was underwhelming and delivered its power in a dull, uninspired way. It looked aggressive, but it just doesn't make sense carrying the SRT badge. Overall, this car doesn't hit for me, so it's going into D tier. Number 9. The Dodge Viper SRT10, or the SRT Gen 5. The Dodge Viper is my personal favorite Dodge model, even though it's extremely dangerous, extremely unreliable, and extremely expensive. Every generation of the Dodge Viper just looks amazing, and the SRT models look even better. Performance-wise, these models do not disappoint. The Viper SRT10 and Gen 5 SRT were absolute monsters, with massive V10 engines pushing out brutal torque and raw, unfiltered power. No traction control, no ABS, just a wild, unforgiving machine that demanded actual skill to handle. That's what makes the Viper special. They're raw, and that sets them apart from all the other complicated sports car models. Obviously, this car is way out of reach for most people, but it reminds me of a time when Dodge actually cared, when performance was a priority, not technology, or creating the newest EV or compact SUV. It's just simple, yet powerful at the same time, and I'm just going to say it, it's in the top 5 greatest looking American muscle cars of all time. S tier. Number 10. The Dodge Ram SRT10. The Ram SRT10 is one of those trucks that looks absolutely insane on paper. Dodge basically shoved a Viper's 8.3-liter V10 under the hood of a standard Ram, gave it a manual transmission, slapped on a wing, and called it a day. 500 horsepower, 0 to 60 in over 5 seconds, and a top speed of 154 miles per hour made it the fastest production truck at the time. It was loud, ridiculous, and for a brief moment, kind of iconic, but when you get past all the specs, reality sets in. It's heavy with sloppy handling, barely any traction, and gas mileage that makes a Hellcat look efficient. It doesn't offer the same kind of balance or purpose you'd get in a real performance car, just a lot of noise and burnouts. Maintenance is expensive, and the performance just doesn't hold up today outside of straight line speed. It's cool for collectors or as a weekend showpiece, but as a real performance truck, it's just not worth it. That's why it lands in C tier. Fun to look at, but mostly all hype. Well, that's my ranking of the SRTs. From the powerful beasts to the more strange, unnecessary models. If you disagree or think I missed something, let me know in the comments below and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and remember people, drive safe, drive smart, but most importantly, drive something worth talking about. See you in the next one.